Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am. Uh, I'm now getting ready.
Uh, Let us wait for a few minutes.
So, please, ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, because I am getting ready, I'm sorry for yesterday. I left. Unfortunately, it was my battery that is just that runs down out of charge. So that's why I leave without any or seeking for any permission. I'm very sorry for that.
No issues. Happy birthday. Our good wishes are with you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
So you have other friends who will be joining. Let us wait
Okay,
for
no problem, ma'am.
let
No
us
problem.
wait and then we will start the discussion.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Have you started writing your assignment?
Yes, of course. I'm done with two of the assignments. Remain two courses, TS-03 and TS-06.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to just finish before the 1st of March.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we have Bashir. And how do I pronounce your name? What should I call you?
Okay, me.
Huh.
Yes, my name is Kabiru. You can call me
Kebir.
Kabiru.
Kebir.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Bashir is the right.
Yes, it
Uh,
is right. His name is Bashir.
Good,
okay.
good, good afternoon, ma'am.
Kebir. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. So, any
Okay,
doubts you have? Okay. So,
that was
shall we start the discussion? Okay.
Yes, ma'am. We can
well.
start.
I've just
Yes. 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 Please, Bashir. What do you want to share? Okay. Shall we start?
um, I've
Okay.
just joined the class.
Ha.
I've
Yes.
just
You
joined the
just.
class. I don't know what you're talking about. It seems like you're talking about how to pronounce my name, right?
Yes. Yes.
Am
Yes.
I right?
Yes.
Okay, okay, okay. You pronounce it properly. Bashir,
Okay, Bashir.
Bashir
Okay,
Abubakar.
okay. Bashir Abu Bakr. Okay, fine. Today we have
Yeah,
a
good.
one new participant, Noora. Mm, so can you tell us something about yourself? Please introduce.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
My
You're
name
also
is
from
Nura.
okay. So you're also from Nigeria.
Yes,
Hmm?
from Nigeria.
Okay. So it is good. Yesterday I read about Nigeria because I'm going to teach you today. And the topic that I'm going to teach today is related with role of a guide, tourist guide. So it's very nice. We have one more participant, Ibrahim. Okay. Welcome to the class. What is the time in Nigeria right now?
So the time now, ma'am, is 38 minutes
10:38.
after 10.
Okay. So I'm going to discuss today the role of a tourist guide with reference to a few examples from Nigeria, and then I will help you to plan a city tour of one of your attractions. So, today the class is related with tourist guide, it is related with mountain guide, wildlife sanctuary. Whenever we go to a national park or a wildlife zone, what is the role of a guide, and in a museum. So the whole discussion today is related with how to, if you are a travel agent, if you are a tour operator, and you get a group of 10 people from India whom you have to guide in Nigeria. So, how are you going to go ahead and plan the tour? What will be the important points that you will take into consideration while planning one day city tour? And what are the problems and challenges that you might face when you are planning a tour of your place? So, I will start with a simple PowerPoint and I'm going to share with you some of your attractions, and you have to tell me, because see, I have not visited Nigeria. I'm not aware about the important attractions of Nigeria, but I have just taken it from some source, and I want you to help me out to plan a city tour of your area. So I'm just going to start with this. Now, can you please tell me what is the importance of this place in Nigeria? What is this place? Is it a famous place? Any? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. What is this all
Yes, ma'am.
about?
It is a famous place.
Okay, please explain about this place.
Okay. It is called Obudu Mountain Resort, or sometimes it is called formerly known as Obudu Cattle Ranch.
Okay.
It is written there.
Huh.
So it's a range and a resort on Obudu Plateau in Cross River State. It is in southern part of Nigeria.
Okay. How
So
many
it
days?
is brief.
How many days of tour is required? How many days?
So, I am from the southern part of Nigeria, so I cannot be able to know the days or the tour days that
Okay.
used to be, I can
Okay.
say,
So, but it
guided
is a
by the tour
natural
guide.
site. It is a natural
Of
place.
course, of course.
It's okay.
It
Now,
has a beautiful scenery, have made this resort on the what? Most tourist destination in Nigeria. It is one of the most tourist site in Nigeria
okay. So
because it is a
suppose
natural place.
you are my travel agent. You all three are my travel agent, and I am the guest.
Okay.
I am the tourist. So I want that you should help me to plan a tour of this place, this cattle ranch. Now, second attraction, I will ask you, because you have to tell me what is this place known as? What is this?
Yes, this place is a Badagry. Listen, it is in Lagos. I can say it is in the border between Nigeria and this place, Benin City. So
Okay.
all these places are from the southern part, while we people here we are from the northern part of the country. So we don't
Okay.
have much to say
Okay.
about the places, and also we are new to the coast tourism. So that's why
Okay.
we are now started
Yes,
to we have
definitely,
started to
Yes.
definitely,
just look
Uh,
definitely.
for all this information.
okay. Uh, Anyone has visited? No one has visited this place. No one. Okay, but see, I don't know whether
No
you are
one.
from north or south. I'm a tourist, so I will call up. I will call up your travel agency. I will phone and I will say, "Oh, I'm planning a city tour. I'm planning a tour of Nigeria. Why don't you help me?" And I have read somewhere that these are the attractions in Nigeria. Now, one more attraction I will show. Now, what is this place known as? Is it popular tourist destination in Nigeria? Tourists visit this place. So you have in Nigeria some
Yes,
yes, yes, Bashir, please.
well, most of
Of
the
course,
place were
it is
popular,
one of the
but
popular
the fact is
popular
that no one ever been there. No one
place.
ever been there because we are from northern parts of the country, as Kabiru Bello told you
Okay.
earlier. That's why we don't have any idea about the places.
But yes, you are from the northern part. These places are in the southern part. That means in southern part, do you have more tourism in Nigeria? Because you told me that all these three places are in the southern part.
So ma'am,
Hmm.
Yes, I can say
So, what,
we have some places in the southern part as well. Like in the southern part, in my neighboring state, we have Yankari Game Reserve or and Resort. It is a very good place and interesting.
okay,
It's really natural as well because I went there once upon a time. So it is really interesting place and attracting what the tourists when just visiting some places in Nigeria. And also we have one place in Abuja, the capital city of Nigeria,
okay,
Millennium Park. We call
okay,
that place Millennium Park.
okay.
It is very
So,
also
if I want to
one
visit
of
your
the tourist
capital city,
destination.
now let us move. Okay, right, right.
Okay.
So, this is again South Nigeria, no, or North Nigeria. These
This is
rock.
Nigeria. That place I can see it. This rock is in one of our currency. Is in the one of our currency. It is a picture in the
This is
currency. Zuma
this is
rock.
Nigeria.
So now I am a tourist. I want to visit North Nigeria also, South Nigeria also. So please suggest how many days of travel plan is good for Nigeria. How many days of travel? 21 days, 2 months, 3 months. For how many days I should come to your country? Yes, please. Any observation? Anyone in the class?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
Nura,
okay.
please. How many? Okay, how many days I should
Maybe
come
one,
to your country?
maybe 1 month.
1 month. Okay,
1 month,
one
ma'am.
month. Okay, thank you so much. 1 month. So you have some festivals also. You have some festivals. Yes, Nura. Yes, Bashir. I think we
Yes, we
lost
have.
connectivity. Huh. So you have. So when?
Well,
What is the best month to visit? Best time to visit?
best time to visit Nigeria from India. You're talking
Hmm.
about?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Yes.
well, best time in my own understanding, I could recommend it to come in like January, January end of the year.
January.
Okay,
Okay.
I'm sorry, December end of the year because it's cold
Okay.
season. The weather
Okay. So
is very good.
December, end of year, and January. This is what you have. And January. These are. I'm using the chat box also. You can look at the chat box also. So according to the best time to visit is December, end of the year, in January.
I
Second,
suggest,
yes, please. Yes. Uh,
suggest maybe June with northern Nigeria
okay. So
because we have the Salah festival after the first Ramadan.
okay. So
We
basic. Right. Good. Good. So 30 days. 30 days, December, end of the year, January. Okay. And then let us move to the next part. So you already have an international tourist board. So in India also we have an international tourist board. So you had your first international tourist in 1472 by the Portuguese, and in 1962 the government established the Nigerian Tourist Association, who is responsible for domestic and international tourism. And in 1976 the Nigerian Tourist Association was dissolved and the Nigerian Tourist Board was established. So you have a very long history of tourism. So it is not that tourism just happened in Nigeria. You have a very, very long history from 14th century onwards till 19th century. Now today you have the Nigerian Tourist Board, which is helping in the tourism activity. So in India also, we have the same tourism board of India, which takes care of all the destinations and the plannings associated with it. So this is the data. The data indicates that why people visit Nigeria is because they visit for workshops, for festivals, for medical reasons, for sports, and for spiritual purposes. These are the common purposes for visit in Nigeria. And yesterday we read about the common purpose of visit in India also. So India is also business, India is also festival, in India also we visit for spiritual purposes. So across the world, in all parts of the world, the purpose of tourist visit is almost the same. So you have your tourism board, tourists visit your destinations. uh, the capital city is the most visited city in Nigeria. Now all this information you also know, I also know. Now what you have to do is that you have to prepare a city tour. Now, what is your explanation? What do you understand by this word city tour means what? What is a city tour? Please give your views. What is city tour?
So
Name a city
I
in
can
Nigeria.
say city
Yes, yes,
tour.
please. Hmm.
I can say it is a process whereby a tourist guide, I can say, trying to just present some beautiful attractions to the tourists and also
Very
visit
good.
some, I can say, cultural places so that the tourists can
Very
explore
good.
a lot about the country.
Yes. So you have understood, I think everyone has understood what is a city tour. So you select the most popular, the most important city of Nigeria or India, because since you are going to write it from the Nigerian point of view, you can select any city of your choice. You will be asked to write about the city tour of any place. You can write a city tour of India, you can write a city tour of Nigeria, you can write city tour of any other country, any destination of your choice. So city tour is your chapter, and in this chapter the focus is that whenever I'm planning the city tour, generally it is for the group. People travel in group. We hire a small bus. We book train tickets in advance. So everybody traveled together. So it is very affordable. It is cheap when we travel together. We get best value for our money, and we meet other people, other students from other part of the country also. So today mostly city tours, the travel agents, they prefer group tours, because group tour is very very good business. It is very good for the money part of it. So because of the money part and the business part, group travel is encouraged by the travel agents. So you have a guided sightseeing tour. So if it is a guided sightseeing tour, you need good people who can speak English, who have knowledge about the history and the culture of the city. So, for example, your group. We have Nora, Bashir. Everybody is part of this guided sightseeing tour. So, what you can do is that you can help us. That okay. All three of you, four of you, will be with a group of 20 Indians. You will take them to different places in Nigeria, in your capital city, and you will speak to us in English. You will plan the road map, because you know the traffic in your area. You will plan the place for lunch and dinner, and you will also put some time for shopping also. So in city tour, we take them in a group. We show them the important places of the city. We help them to understand the history and culture of that place, and also solve their problems. If they have any problem related to food, or they want to do some special shopping, so in such situation, guided city touring is the most important option that is available. So when you know when you are planning a city tour, you have to tell them that okay, this hotel is important. We will put you in this hotel. We will give them the details of the hotel also. Then also food, whether breakfast is included or it is not included, whether dinner is included in the city tour or not. So all this is part of the city tour activity that we plan. And then we also tell them what is included and what is not included. For example, we tell them, okay, we will take care of your transport, your flight, your train, your coaches, bus coaches, your hotel or accommodation, your food, and your visit. So this is included, but if you go for shopping, it's not included. Insurance is your area. You have to decide about your insurance. If you're coming from India, you have to take care of the transfer from the home to the airport and in the destination. And if you're carrying extra baggages, you want some new, upgrades, you want some facilities, then that is also not included. So, what is included? What is not included? What is included in a city tour is you all are travel agent, you all are travel guides, so you're going to help me in transportation, accommodation, meals, and visit. But you cannot help me in shopping because shopping money I have to spend. I have to take my own insurance. I have to travel from India to Nigeria, and I will bear the cost of extra baggages and upgrades, etc. So, this is very clear that if I am coming to your city, you will help me visit the city and you will guide me in that city, and you will also plan my visit to the city. This is a very easy and an interesting topic. Everybody can write an answer for this topic. It is not at all tough. So, I have to give you some money in advance because you have to book my hotel. You have to book my bus for my group. You have to plan my itinerary. So I have to some deposit some money to you. I will also give you my passport information. You will also give me some final payment deadlines that okay, I must get 80% of the payment, and then we have the dates of the travel. So this is how a city tour is planned. If it's the tourist is from outside the country, if he's outside Nigeria, he has to give you some money in advance. With that money, you will book the hotel for that person, you will book the taxi for the person, you will buy some tickets in advance if it is a festival. And then second, I have to also share my passport details with you because I am a foreign traveler in your country. Before I reach Nigeria, I must give you at least 80% of the final payment. And then the date of the travel is decided between us together. So this is how a city tour is planned in general terms. Now, where is this place? Anybody? How do you pronounce this? Can anyone has visited?
Yeah, we pronounce this place as Lagos.
Okay,
Lagos.
so for Lagos, if you have to write an answer for Lagos, uh, the travel agent has, um, written on his website that it is a 3 night tour. Do you agree, or it should be 5 nights? What is your view of Lagos? Lagos is a good tourism attraction.
Yes, some places in Lagos are good in, I can say, tourism,
Okay.
but the problem is that the city is very congested.
Oh, okay. So it is mentioned here that Lagos is a mega city. See, you are local people. You know that the city is congested. I am a tourist. Yes,
So, but it has
yes.
some, yeah, it is very congested, Lagos State.
Okay. So what is this Lekki Conservation Center? And then you have some art gallery and you have a city mall. One can do photography, visit places, and one can
Ikeja
also
City Mall.
plan through an app. This is what is mentioned on the website. Okay. Then Saudi Arabia is a 16-hour flight from there. Is that so? From
Yes,
Lagos,
of
if I
course.
move to Jeddah. Huh. So will you recommend
Yes,
that
you can
from
move to
there I
Jeddah
should
from
move?
Lagos, of course.
Okay. So from Lagos, it is a
Very
16-hour
recommendable.
flight.
Very recommendable
There is a time.
because
Okay, it is recommended. Okay. Uh,
yes, you can.
so Lagos is slightly colder. Uh, this is what is
You,
mentioned, but still I can plan from Lagos.
you can
Okay, I
travel
can do.
from Lagos to Saudi, either Abuja to Saudi or Kano to Saudi.
There
Yeah.
is some voice, your voice is cracking, and then so do you agree that these are the things I can do in Lagos? I can go for shopping, museums, parks. Do you have a nightlife also in Lagos? Anyone else in the class?
Yes, yes, of course, ma'am. Of course. Even
Okay.
some
So,
experiences
huh,
here does not exist elsewhere
okay.
beside Lagos. Yes.
So, so what you have to do now, I will again go back to my presentation and I will say that when you are writing an answer for city tour, you select a city of your choice. You can select any city of Nigeria, and in
Okay,
that
ma'am.
city of Nigeria, you can plan a city tour. Okay, I will just show you because see, it is an Indian textbook, so we have an example of India in the book. You don't have to refer to that example because you are from a different area altogether. But still, I will show you your book so that you have an idea what is expected out of it in an answer related to city tour. Okay, wait a minute. So this is your study material where it is mentioned discovering a town, guide and city tour. So you can take Lagos, you can take any city of your choice. And what you have to write in this answer is you have to write, you have to design this itinerary. This is the most important part. Like, for example, today is, let's say, 17th of February. So it is Lagos, 8 o'clock. What time? If I land at the Nigerian airport in your capital city, you will take me for a breakfast at the hotel. Then we will depart for a city tour of Lagos. Then we will spend some time in an art gallery or any other place. Then we can have some buildings, we can visit a building. So from 8:30 to 5:30 you have to plan an itinerary of a place in any part of the world. So the question that is important for you to prepare from the exam point of view, from the point of view of your studying, is that you should know how to prepare an itinerary. So this itinerary is divided into four parts. You have the date, you have the place. Here the place is New Delhi. You can put your own place. Then you have to write down the timings. And then this is the itinerary, that is breakfast, departures, stop, 15 minutes stop, then spectacular view of a particular building. You can write the name of the building, then off to some local shopping center in that area. Then we break for lunch for half an hour. Then again we resume our tour and then we come back for shopping and departure to the hotel. So you have to, in your answers, you have to make this itinerary whenever it is asked for. And then whenever what are the problems now? See, length of the tour daily trip is very very important. You're going to take me for 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours for your city tour. That is one point. Then how many stops you will have, how many points will be there during the city tour, that is stops during the tour. Then, of course, the shopping. I don't know what all is good for shopping, so you have to tell me that shopping, ma'am, this article is good, this wooden work is good, this pearl work is good, or this textile is good in Lagos. So you have to help me in shopping also, because I don't know the local language. I may have problem in currency. So all these are shopping related activities. And then I may, there can be some problems. For example, one of the tour member has lost his luggage. He's not able to carry. Tour member is missing. He has lost his way. He's missing. So you are a travel agent. You are a tour escort. So you have to take care of luggage, the missing tour members. You have to take care of the passport loss and loss of funds and tickets. So this is your responsibility to help me. If I am lost, if I don't have proper papers with me, or if there is some kind of a medical emergency that happens during the trip, then it is a travel agent who helps us in helping us, for example, any kind of a illness. So I hope any questions from this city tour. Can you make this itinerary on your own? Any doubts, anything from your side?
So from my own side, there is no, I think, problem. There's no any problem. I will try my own possible
So it is
best to see
easy.
that I
It
have.
is easy. This is
Yes.
easy.
Yeah. Yes, of course, we can try it.
Okay, Hamza, are you okay?
Yes, I am.
And Noora? Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
thank you. So this is done. Now this is for a city. This is for a urban area. Now let me take you to the next chapter, the next unit, which is related with mountains. Now, do you have mountains in your uh, country?
Yes, it's in some states we have some mountains, but in some states, not all
Okay.
these cities.
Now, have you heard about Mount Everest?
Yes,
Have you ever heard about this word Mount Everest?
I heard
Yes,
about that.
ma'am.
But yes, of course,
Okay.
yes, Mount
So it's
Everest.
one of
Yes,
the.
ma'am.
So now suppose you are, see, in the last chapter we discussed about city tour. City tour means city tour in an urban area. But I am a very adventurous tourist. For example, you get a phone call from one person and he says, I am 18 years old only and I want to go for mountain climbing. Now, if you want to go for mountain climbing, or if you're preparing for or for an attraction such as Everest, then different set of preparation is required. Now, I will share with you. For example, if you look at Everest, coldest in January, and it can go. It's a very high altitude. It, it's always above the freezing level. So January is the coldest, minus 33 degrees centigrade, 10 feet of snow. July is the warmest, and then winds can reach up to a huge, the speed of the wind is huge. Now, I am an adventure tourist, and I need your help to climb a mountain like Everest. Now, this is a different type of a training, because when I'm going on a mountain, then I as a tourist and you as a guide should be physically fit. Cardiovascular exercises, biking, swimming, running, lifting weight to prevent muscle fatigue, hiking outdoor trails. I should have experience of climbing glaciers. I should be mentally fit, and I should know how to climb the rock. So you will not take a 60-year-old person to Everest. You will take only young people. If you are a travel agent and you are going for mountain climbing, so in mountain climbing, you will look at your tourist and you will ask the tourist, okay, do you do any exercise? Can you lift weight? Can you use ropes? Is it easy for you to climb the rock? So all these points that are mentioned here, all these points are very important from the tourist as well as the guiding point of view. Then it's huge cost, because you have to take those oxygen cylinders with you. The oxygen and the Sherpa cost of a climbing Everest, and then you need some extra supplies also on the mountain, because you will have to cook your own food. There is no light on the mountain, and then there is a health risk also. A person may die also while climbing on mountains. So the tour guide has to be very, very strong in terms of its physical abilities. Then you need some climbing gears also. For example, you need good footwear, good clothes, different types of shoes, clothes, head and hand gear, some headlamps, climbing equipments, right, like ice axe, then rappel devices, climbing camping gears, first aid kit, and travel items. So when you are escorting a group, when you're taking a group to a mountain, so all this is important, because your dress is very important, your clothes is very essential. Then you should have some climbing equipments with you. You should also have some good medical and first aid kits available with you. Then so this is how you need so many special items, because you will be carrying the oxygen cylinder also with you. So it's very difficult. It is not an easy expedition. So the guide is supposed to be very strong, and the guide should know the local area very well. He should be from the local area, and in India we call those guys as Sherpa. I will just write it in the chat box. We call them as Sherpa, the mountain guide. So mountain guide is different from a city guide. So in this area, in this part of Asia, we call them as Sherpa, and they are basically from the Nepal area. From Nepal, Nepal is a neighboring country of India. So you get Sherpas from Nepal, and they help us to climb these places. So we have the Himalayas, which is very tall mountain range. Mount Everest is there, and then we have some five important countries like India, Nepal, Bhutan, China, and Pakistan. So it is on the border of Nepal and Tibet. So a lot of international permit is also required. So this is a special type of a tour activity. Special, it's a special tour escort activity. So it is not like I'm going to one city and you are going to take me to the city. No, it involves a lot of hard work from both the side of the tourist as well as the other thing. And then you have also some religious places on the mountain. You do find animals when you are climbing the mountains. You find flowers also. So you have unique animal species. You may have a lot of cultural, symbols there, and you can also get people who are from different backgrounds. So who are Sherpas? This is your book. Also, will also discuss. Sherpa means East people. They are from the eastern part of Nepal, in the Khumbu Valley, the national park surrounding Everest. The Sherpas live at high altitude for generations, so they developed a genetic natural allowance for it. They are the culture of the elite mountains, so they serve as guides at extreme altitude peaks. They are paid to do things such as prepare the route for foreign climbers to follow, fix ropes in place, and carry out necessary climbing kit up in the mountain. So Do you have some mountain climbing activity in Nigeria also? Do you have mountain climbing in your country? Please, can I have?
So from my side, we don't have
Yes.
any kind of a mountain. So, but in the mountain, in the listen, some
Okay. So,
attractions here in Nigeria.
have you? Yes.
We have some,
Yes.
I can say, mountains because Obudu Mountain Resort, that place we have shown before, is one of the mountains we have, and also the Ibeno Beach. There is a beach there, and also beside the beach there's a mountain, and also Ahum Waterfall. There are some mountains there as well.
So,
So it is located in Enugu State in the southern part as well.
have you understood what is the role of a Sherpa? Anybody would like to further tell me who's a Sherpa? Sherpa means people who live on the mountain. Do you have some local people living on the mountain also?
Yes, we have. And from my side, there is one mountain I know. It is in the north state. It is called Mandara Mountain. So the people around the area are used to help people to climb that mountain.
Very good, Hamza. Very good, Kabir. Very good, Hamza. Thank you for your participation. So, you have understood that if you are taking a tourist to a city, it is very different. But if you are taking a tourist to a mountain, it is very risky. It is adventure tourism. We call this as adventure tourism. And in adventure tourism, risk of life is involved
Yeah,
because weather, climate change, there can be snowfall, there can be, a lot of rain, wildlife animals might be there. So these are the people who are guides only for mountains. Then let me move to the next slide. So in India we use them as Sherpa because in Nepal the mountain climbers are known as Sherpas, and Indians use people from Nepal as mountain climbers, as mountain guides, and we have a lot of Buddhism in this part of the world. So these Sherpas are the one who follow Buddhist religion. So if you get a question on Sherpa, you can think about a mountain climber and write with reference to the challenges a mountain climber might face. So there can be some heavy snowfall when we are moving, and then you have to sleep in such conditions where you're surrounded by snow. The snow is there, you have to use wood only, you have to assemble the wood, you have to really take care of your food also when such activities are conducted by the tour operators. So this is how it is. So these are some of the points that we have to take into consideration when we are taking a tour for mountain climbing. Then we must have a cigarette lighter without fluid. We must have a steel wool because that is again important. Steel helps us to protect. Extra shirt and pant for each survivor. Then we should have some kind of light or a candle powder or some kind of an equipment so that at night we don't feel very dark. That is also very important. Then we should have small acts. We should have family size chocolate. Chocolates are very important because chocolates help us to revive our food energy. So we can carry chocolates with us. We should also use newspaper because when we are going to start lighting the fire there, newspaper per person can also help in in lighting the fire, in packaging everything, and also in signaling. So newspaper also we carry when we go for such expeditions. And then we need a pistol also, because see, we don't know what kind of an animal might attack us. So we should have a licensed pistol, we should have licensed shells in that, because we are going for adventure tourism activities. And of course some kind of alcohol is also required, because it is extremely cold there. So all these are the packaging list that you have to share. Then you also need to have a compass, because direction, we may lose the direction, in which direction we will be going, how will we reach the mountain. If there is an adverse lot of snowfall, then we have to airlift also our team, and we have to call the government, and the government in India sends a helicopter, and with the helicopter the people are airlifted. So you have very high mountains in Nigeria, or low side mountains? What kind of mountains you have in Nigeria?
So I think here in Nigeria we have the low-sized mountains, the low ones.
Okay,
Yes, we have.
okay. So is it risky to climb in Nigeria?
It is very risky because some places there are some wild animals that do live there
Okay,
and are very dangerous.
they are dangerous. So only local people can help na, in this kind of a tour.
Yes, of course. Only
Yeah. Local people.
Only local. So I think we have all understood. I will just share with you.
local people
Just
that
give
live
me
in
one
there.
minute.
They can
I will
help.
share the chapter. Okay, okay. This is your chapter. Uh, just the mountain guide Sherpa. So, who are Sherpas? They are the pathfinders. This is what is mentioned here, pathfinders. Because we are lost when we are going to a mountain, there are no proper roads. So, the first duty of the Sherpa is to find a path for us. He's a pathfinder for us. So, this is he's a Pathfinder is more adventurous. He's very adventurous, and he accepts a good amount of money also, because when he is coming and he's going to take you to a mountain, he will charge high money from you compared to that of a guide. Guide will charge less. Pathfinder will ask for more money. Then after that, they are the people. They help you to set up the tent. They will take your load, your suitcase or your baggage. They will also help you to manage your supplies, for example, food related, and they will also help in cooking activities. So these are some of the job that a pathfinder or a Sherpa is supposed to do. Then let me move to the next. This you can leave. This is not important. So these are some of the expectations. When you're taking someone as a pathfinder or a Sherpa with you, the guide should be physically fit. He should have very good technical skills. He should be aware about the local customs and traditions, should be familiar with local area, local routes, and should act as a middleman, as a communication person between the tourist and the local guide. He should be able to know how to rescue the procedure, how to rescue the people, how to help the people to come out of any medical emergency. And these are the skills that are required by the pathfinders or the Sherpas or the guide. So you can learn some of these skills. They should know about the climate, about the local language. They can handle stress, and they can also help in the case of evacuation. If it is a very risky mountain, it's a low sided mountain, but it is very risky and there are dangerous animals, then of course the pathfinder should be able to help. So, this is the second kind of a guide that we require. One guide was when we went to Lagos, there one type of a guide was required. This is the second type of a guide that is required, which is related with the mountains. So, how many of you would like to go for mountain tourism? How many of you? You are all young, so will you like? Would you like to go and visit any such?
Yes, ma'am.
You will go,
Of
Hamza.
course, it will
Really?
be
I
really
do,
Yes,
ma'am. Of course.
enjoyable. Of
About
course.
me.
So please, definitely. So please read it and then talk to the people how much days it takes to visit the mountain. It's very adventurous, very good exercise, and but you have to be physically fit. That is very, very important. So these two topics are clear to everyone. Any questions?
Yes, of course, ma'am.
Now
What I
let us.
observe here from this chapter is
Yeah.
a person should be very, as you said, very, very physically fit, and also there are some, I can say, dangerous experiences a person may explore. So he has to be very cautious. And also the guide, I mean the tourist professional, can also make sure that he only take those who are physically
Yes,
fit.
yes. Very good,
I
very
mean the
good.
young ones,
Uh,
because at times some I can say the old people may try to just involve themselves in this kind of tourism, which is not required basically for them. With this kind of tourism, like mountain tourism, is not for young, old people. I mean,
yes.
so it is really essential for a tourist guide to observe.
Very good, very good. Noura, you want to say thank you, Kabir, for your feedback? Anything you would like to share, Noura? Okay, so now let
no,
us move. Okay, thank you. Now let me move to the third topic now for discussion, and I'm really happy that you all are uh, understanding and getting an idea about it. What is all this about? It is not very tough. You have to just use your basic writing skills for writing the assignments. Okay. Now, let me take you to one more topic, which is related with a national park. So, do you have any national park in your country? What is a national park or a national?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
We have
yes. Can you
national
name?
park
Yeah.
here in Nigeria, which is known as Millennium Park in the capital city of Nigeria. And the Millennium Park is the largest public park of Abuja, the capital of Nigeria.
Okay. How many hours we can spend in your national park? How many in a day, or how many days? 1 day, two
Maybe,
day? It's huge.
yeah, a day may suffice because it is almost
Please guide me. Please help
maybe
me.
3 to 4 hours can
3 to 4.
suffice for,
Okay. Do you have an entry
yes,
ticket?
3 to 4 hours.
Okay.
Yes,
What are the
there
regulations?
is an entry ticket. You should
Yeah.
at least
So, what are the
you know,
rules of visiting a national park? What are the law? What is the mm, can I throw my water bottle in a national park? Is it allowed? Can I make a loud noise in the national park? How do you travel? Do you travel through a jeep, or you travel through what is the local transport within the national park? How do you visit? By foot only? You walk, or you have some transport also? Okay. So in if the national park size is very huge, if it is geographically very big, then we have some eco-friendly vehicles also inside the national park. So now if you're guiding someone, if you are going to take a tourist to a national park, then what are the important points we should take into consideration? If you're taking someone to a national park, see, city tour we have understood, mountain tour we have understood. If you're taking someone to a national park, then anything from your side? Okay, I will now share one PPT which has got a lot of examples of national
Uh,
parks of Nigeria.
Sorry, ma'am. My network was poor. That's why. So,
Mm.
as I was saying, there are some, I can say,
Mm.
rules for a tourist to follow.
Mm.
So, number one, I can say a tourist cannot remove or use a harmful plant or animal to the
Very
park.
good. Very good. Very good.
All flora and fauna are fully protected, must not be disturbed, and rubbish must be placed out, buried, or disposed.
Very good. Very nice.
So no one will walk within the park between sunset and sunrise. So there are some rules I can say, but these ones are the ones that I can be able to recall.
Mm.
So these are some just rules that a guide can take
Very
care
good.
of.
See, very. You have mentioned about Kongar National Park. It is the biggest game reserve, 20,000
Of course.
square kilometers. My God. And we don't have such big in India. 147 mammals
No.
and 507 types of birds. Huge natural reserve. And then you have lion, you have elephants, you have leopards, buffalo, and rhino there. So it is not just one type of animal. You have big five set of animals there. So those who are
Of course.
managing this national park, it's a huge park. Now, if you are managing this park, you will come up with some rules. That is what Kabir was telling us. And not everyone can visit every time. That is one thing. Animals should not be disturbed. Second, as he mentioned, that in evening till morning, nobody is allowed because it is very dangerous. Threat to life is there. So if I'm going to ask you, please plan my tour for the Krungar National Park. You will say, ma'am, wait, I can take you only for 4 5 hours. You will not make noise there. You are not allowed to throw your polythenes and your plastics and your usable material in the park. You will be very quiet inside the park, and I will not take you to dangerous areas because when you have lion, elephant, leopard, and buffaloes, it's a dangerous activity. So this is one of the important points that we have to take, that when we are taking someone for a national park related activity, so they have their own diet, they have their own habitat. In the national park, you have water bodies also because animals come there to drink water. And then with water, you have other birds associated. So, and you have buffalo also, you have giraffe also. So, a lot of people from a lot of animals from the cat family are very much there in your national park. Then, after that, let me move to the next one. Uh, wait, just give me a minute. Okay. Uh, I'm sharing it. So, anyone visited any national park? Not yet?
Not yet, ma'am.
Just, okay. So, okay, no issues,
No,
no
man.
issues. Okay. Just give me a minute. Uh,
No.
So, then with this, see, again, this requires lot of time. This requires special planning. Then you have these elephants. Now, elephants are very dangerous. Have you ever read elephants are dangerous?
Of course, ma'am. Of
Elephants,
course.
they're very dangerous.
Yes.
They hit the vehicles, na? They smash the cars. So, and they travel in groups. They don't travel alone. So you will find a elephant family, you will find 40 elephants, and they travel together. So this is the animal behavior. So when we visit a national park, we have to be very careful about elephants, because elephants many times smash the cars, and they are a threat to human life. So then these are the different kinds of animals that you get in your national park. This is the national park of your country. It is not of India. So they are all basically very well protected by the government. So when you visit the national park, you visit only one part of the national park. You don't visit the complete 20,000 miles, square miles national park. It is not possible, and you will not get permission also. You can see few animals, probably rhino is easy to see. You can also spot a crocodile. You can also take look at a zebra, giraffe. Because of its height, you can see the giraffe from a distance. But leopards are dangerous. So buffaloes, leopards, wild dogs, all are the ones which you will find in your national park. And if you are the guide, if you are the guide and I am your guest, then you will tell me, ma'am, in this place we have best rhinos of the world, we have the best zebras of the world, we have very good wild dogs in our national park. So national park, the attraction is different. It is very, very different from what you see in a city. Then of course, wood, trees. Trees is again a very, very important attraction in any national park. So you have the yellow wood in your country, which is very famous. Then you have all these types of birds. Now, in birds also, we know that the birds follow a migratory pattern. So we have lots of migratory birds. We have nectar-like birds. So some people, they visit national park not for animals, they visit for all these kind of birds, as well as the natural attractions such as tree, flowers, and water bodies in the national park. So I may not be interested in rhino, but I may be interested in the migratory birds. So then I will visit your national park in the month of January, because I want to experience, or I'm doing some research on all this. So this is what is a national park all about. So now, what is the role of a guide in a national park? What should the guide do in a national park? What is his job?
Yeah, I have not even visited a national park before, but I have some experiences. There was a time that I visited one of the dams here in Gombe in my state.
Yeah.
So, number one, I can say, guide, the role of the guide there is to enlighten the tourists before even starting to visit some attractions, because there may be some places
Okay.
that are enclosed without the what tourist those knowledge. Maybe they may involve themselves in danger or something like that. So the tourist guide can enlighten the tourists so that they cannot go after that places, and
Very
also
good.
he is the one that will be just taking them to places, telling them about the items they have seen, or I can say the attractions they may encounter or something like that.
Very nice. Very nice. So now I will take you to the thank you for your feedback. Thank you very much. So now I will take you to that chapter, which is visiting national park, a guide's perception. I'll share that chapter with you. Visiting national park, a guide's perception. So there are some. See, a wildlife tourist is different from an ordinary tourist. Who is a wildlife tourist? A wildlife tourist is the one who whose purpose of travel is he wants to see insects, snakes, lizards, birds. He wants to see the environment. So, first of all, he's not coming for shopping. He's not interested in medical tourism. He's not interested in five-star hotel. He's only interested in jungle, in wildlife, in adventure, understanding nature, want to see the creatures of nature, insects, butterflies, lizards, snakes, birds, and animals. So, this is first important point for the answer that we have to write, that the wildlife tourist is completely different from a city tourist, from a mountain tourist. A mountain tourist would like to climb, climb, climb. That's it, and would like to be surrounded by snow if it is a snow peak mountain. But a wildlife tourist is interested only in nature. Then the second important point is that this wildlife tourist is he can be an industrialist, he can be a businessman, he can be a doctor, an engineer, but he wants to be with the nature. So he may be a very good politician, a very good engineer, but he loves nature, he likes nature. Second, he is not aware about the customs and traditions of the area. He wants to respect the law of the national park. He is, because he likes nature, so he wants to respect the law of the national park, and he is very tolerant. He's very patient. He is not a very short tempered, because he knows that if he has to watch a rhino and he has to wait for a wild dog, he's very polite, he's very patient, he's very tolerant. He will do up with inconveniences of the situation. He will stand in a queue to get an entry. He will not smoke for hours, because smoking is not permitted in the national park. If he's staying inside the national park, he will stay in the basic accommodation. He will eat simple food. No television inside the national park. Many national parks don't have mobile phone connectivity also. So the this tourist is a very educated tourist, point number one. Point number two, he respects the customs of this area. He respects the law of the national park. Point number three, this tourist is very patient. He is very helpful. He will not create problem for you during his visit to the national park. So he likes peace. He's little adventurous also, because he likes peace, but he wants to see something new. He's adventurous, and he believes that he will be alive. Because if I go to a national park which has got, let's say, 500 elephants, there are chances that I may die also. My car may be hit by the elephant badly. But if I'm a wildlife tourist, I assure, the assurance is there that, oh, my guide is with me. Sagir is with me, Noora is with me, Muhammad is with me, so Hamza, everyone is there, so nothing is going to happen to me. So, assurance that all is safe and he will not have any difficulty. He will read on the internet about the national park. When he will come and meet you, he has got all the information about the flora and fauna, and he's excited to look at the flowers, to look at the yellow wood, to look at the migratory birds, and he has a lot of time. He's not like a city tourist who has got just 8 hours and he wants to see everything. No, a tourist who is visiting a national park is very patient. He comes with a lot of time. He doesn't demand any facilities, and he is an educated person. So these are some of the characteristics of the tourist. But some of the problems are there in wildlife tourism. One problem is of the timing, because as Kabir very rightly said, that sunset to sunrise, nobody can get inside the national park. Everybody has to leave the national park. So morning and evening, So many times I cannot see the complete national park because the time is over. I have to go out of the national park. This is one problem. Second, in certain national parks, you don't have good transport facility because in certain national parks in India, we have introduced eco-friendly transport. Do you have any eco-friendly transport in your country also, as far as national park is concerned? Okay, so here we have some eco-friendly battery vehicles that we use in the national park, but most of them people are supposed to walk only in the national park. Accommodation is simple accommodation in a national park. It is a clean and a simple accommodation which is managed by a friendly staff. So in certain national parks, we can stay at night also. And last is a wildlife tourist is interested always in photography. He will carry his camera, he will carry his cell phone, he may have a special uh, photographical instruments with him because he want to capture the nature. He wants to understand how things move, how, and he wants to make a lot of reels and films and short movies out of his experience in the national park. So this is how a wildlife tourist is different from the other tourists that you find. But this person is very good. He respects nature. He will not interfere with the nature. He will always keep a map. Uh, he will always use Google Maps or any other map to see whether where the water holes are, where are the platforms, what are the places, what is the topography. Then he will go for nature walk. This tourist loves to walk and walk and walk. So he would like to go for nature walks also. That is important. And then this is very good for this is good for the country because there is a lot of economic benefit of these national parks. We can uh, go for walking. We can use boats inside the national park for local waterfall related activities. We can sometimes have elephant rides in the national park and also excursions to the nearby sites. So, this is the topic related to wildlife tourism. Any questions on this? So, where would you like to go? Mountain, city, or national park? What is your preference? Where would you like to go? Noora, where? Mountain or national park? He has left the meeting. Okay. Mohammed, yes, Mohammed.
No,
Yes. What happened? Why they have left the meeting? Some login problem? Acha, he has again joined. Okay, okay. So,
Sorry, ma'am.
yeah, no issues, no issues, Nora. So, Mohammed, are you
What's
comfortable? What I have taught you, are you okay with it?
what?
no,
Yes, Mohammed?
no, ma.
Huh?
No,
Any questions?
no question.
Bashir,
No question, ma.
Hamza?
No question, but I prefer to go for mountains and national park, man.
Both mountain and national park, huh? Both? Okay. And Nora?
Ma'am, I'm very scared of climbing. I prefer for my, national park.
So, three
So we
options.
should prepare ourselves, especially so that in Nigeria, so that we will gather ourselves in a specific day or sometime. So we should visit, even if it is the nearest park that we have there in Nigeria.
Okay. So, thank you. So, three places: a city tour, a national park, and mountain. These three topics are clear. Now, the fourth topic of our discussion is museum. Have you ever visited any museum? Any
Yes, ma'am.
museum in your country?
Here in my state, Kano State, we have a museum.
Okay.
I also visited Bauchi State.
Okay.
Even me, I visited the one in Bauchi State,
Okay.
here
Yes.
in Nigeria.
In the Yankari Game Reserve, a resort.
Okay. So I will share some examples of museums of Nigeria also, so that you will feel good and you can relate to it. So what is a museum? What is it's a building basically. So a building which represents the just a minute. Let me. So museum is a building or a place or an institution used for preservation, collection of artifacts, cultural objects which are important for people. So I'm not interested in mountaineering as a tourist. If I'm not interested in mountaineering, I'm also not interested in wildlife, but I am interested in going to a museum. So if I'm going to a museum, you have to first tell me what is a museum. So museum is a building or an institution which is used for the collection, preservation of cultural objects. These cultural objects can be man-made or natural cultural objects, which represents the history of the people from past and present. So first of all, museums are generally managed by the government. There is a building, there is a place. In that place, we collect, we preserve, and we display the artifacts and other natural objects which represents the history of the people. The preservation of old and new objects is important for every society. Old objects enlighten the society about their past achievement, while the new ones are a record for the present as much as for the future generation. So museums is a collection of art objects, collection of currency, collection of dress, collection of any handicraft item also. So in Nigeria, you have independent National Commission of Antiques and Museums. This is what you have in Nigeria. And in Nigeria, you have started the preservations from 1933 and 1943 onwards. So with Mr. E.H. Duckworth and K.C. Murray, they were the ones who have this Commission of Antiques and Museums for the preservation of the cultural and artistic treasures of Nigeria. So in our country, we have the Archaeological Survey of India. In your country, you have the National Commission of Antiques and Museums. And this National Commission of Antiques and Museums has got museums. The National Museum in Lagos houses the headquarter for the National Commission of Museums and Monuments. So if you are a travel agent, if you are a travel agency operator, you may get a phone call that I am interested in visiting the museum. So what will you do? You will go to the website of this National Commission of Antiques and Museums, and then which is situated and in Lagos, and you will go to their website and you will find how many museums are there in your city, and accordingly you will take the tourist to that particular museum. Then next, so first museum, see, you had established so long. I mean, 1944 only you had established the museum. And in every state, in every important destination in Nigeria, you have the museums with the help of the state federations. And these museums are specialized museums in Nigeria. So museum first was the Joes Museum, which was then in Ace Museum in 1944. Then 1957, the Logos Museum was established. So in your entire country, you have so many museums that are there, and all these represents the culture of the country. Now let me move to the So these are some of the museums that we have in Nigeria. These are the museums. So you have in Nigeria fossil museum, you have automobile museum where you put cars and aeroplanes, you have a war museum, you have a science museum, museum of antique, museum of inventions, aquatic means water and fish kingdom, and historical museum. So when you were in school, you visited any museum? Your school takes you to any museum? No? Okay. So,
So this question goes to those who study art. you know, almost all of us. you know, I'm a science student, so I have never been to any museum. But
museum.
there was a time that I entered one museum there in Kano State in Nigeria. But I haven't been inside the museum. I haven't seen any, I can say, tourist attraction items or
And,
something like that. So,
okay, okay.
art students
Okay.
used to go there.
Mhm. Very nice. So these are the museums that we find in your country and in our country also. In India also we have these museums, but of course we have museums in large number in India. Indian government also manages some museums are also managed by the state government. So this is the role of the a museum as far as museum is concerned. So in India, we also organize training programs for the operators, for the tour operators. We also promote artistic exchange, international artistic exchange. We invite people for talks and shows and seminars. We use museums to spread Indian film and broadcasting heritage. We support the cultural development of adjoining countries and we encourage Indian language learning also. So in India, we are using a museum for all these activities. We are training them. We are calling people from Latin America, from South Africa to come and visit and see our museums. We also organize seminars, some discussions and talks related to the museums. We also develop the support the cultural development of Bangladesh, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Pakistan. So all this, the museum authorities from there also come, and we also are also there, and we encourage English language learning and assimilation and Indian language learning also. So this is some of the these are the roles of the museum that we have to follow. Then what is an art gallery? Art, do you have some any art gallery in your city also? Art galleries are small in size.
Yes,
You can have an art
there are some art
exhibition. You
galleries.
can display some of the old artifacts. Yes, okay. So you can use those art galleries, and they are also part of the museum. But museum is slightly bigger than the art gallery. They also display. Now, one challenge that you will all face is if you will get a question on museum. You have a chapter on Prince of Wales Museum. Now, for you to remember this name, Chhatrapati Shivaji, this is a Hindi name, so forget about it. So, what you can do is when you're writing the answer for the museum, you can take up the role and function of Museum of Nigeria. You can take up any one museum of Nigeria, read about that museum, the various important facts about the museum you can write in the answer, because I will show you that chapter. That chapter is related with Prince of Wales Museum, which is see, all the museums are designed as per international standards only. All the museums have, for this chapter, just read this structure. If you look at, I'll just elaborate on this. So, what happens is that in museums, you find all these pointers. In the museum, you will have historical exhibits, you will have brown structures, you will have art section, you will have Indian textiles, you may have painting section also, and national, national history section, education activities. So my suggestion to you is that this museum is an Indian museum. So if you are able to remember, it is fine. Otherwise, you can write in your answer about the importance of museum, which is this part. I'll just show it to you. You can, because this will be very difficult in remembering. It has all got, all Hindi names are there, Indian names are there. So just read 8.8, the educational activities of the of the museum. With this, you can also understand that the museum organizes exhibitions, and this exhibition can be within the country or outside the country. This is one part about exhibition. Then the museum is also involved in some research activity, because if I have something very old in my house and I want to give it to the museum, so the museum might research on it if it's an old coin or an old metal that is available. And they also play an important role in the conservation of the various artifacts. So this is important for us to understand from examination point of view, that educational activities of the museum. If you get a question, you can read about one of the museums in your country and write about the role of the museum. So uh, this is all Hindi words. It's all Hindi English words. In fact, it's not even Hindi. They're Sanskrit words. So if you read this, it is going to be very confusing for you. You can just read some of the important subheadings. This is easy. That every museum have a decorative art. They have Indian bronze. They have arms, they have textiles, there is a collection of paintings, natural history. But this words that are mentioned here, all this is too tough. So please omit them, just leave them. Just focus on this part, which is the educational activities related with exhibitions, research, and conservation. So is it fine with you? How much you have to read, you have to select, isn't it? Because some of the words are different. Any yes,
Yes,
Kabir? Yes, please.
from what you have just said, we are going to take a museum concept and discuss about it. So I
Yes,
know
yes. Just only this.
each one everyone here of us has an art gallery in us is in his state. I mean, so maybe it cannot be something difficult. Even if you are close to one of the museum, someone just you can just visit one of the museums you have there, so that you can ask them about the rules they have there. Because some museums they have some art galleries inside. You can just explore a lot. It is helpful for the study of this course as well.
Yes, yes. And today, most of the museums are online also, because we all experienced COVID. So, most of the museums are online. So, in such a situation, you can just log into their website, and their website will give you a lot of information about what are the important type of activities this museum performs. So,
Yes, ma'am.
isn't it? So, in this class, we have now covered four topics. The first topic that I'm just giving you an overview because it is good for us. You already have the books. So, the first topic that we covered, I'm just giving you some pointers before I move further. So, this was the first topic we covered, that was the city tour. And in this topic, I had shared with you that if you're writing an answer for the city tour, you have to make this itinerary. This is very important in this answer of city tour, where you will write the date, the place, the time, and the itinerary related to the city tour. So, this is the first topic as far as the guiding is concerned. You can take any city of your choice. You can take your own city, and you can write down in the answer about the important places that can be visited in your own city. So this was first topic that we discussed. The second topic that we discussed was related with, I just gave, I have, it was unit, just give me 1 minute. This was unit 7. The unit 7 is related with the mountain guide. So I had shared with you that if you are going to be a mountain guide, the Sherpa or a mountain climber, so you all have understood this, that this is a very risky job. This job requires a lot of physical stamina. It is adventurous in nature. So in this, you have to study this part. What is the role of a Sherpa? Sherpa is supposed to set up tents, carry out loads, and all this we have discussed. So you have to study this 7.3 in this. After that, 7.5. This is 7.5. So you can make a note somewhere that 7.5 you can study, where you will read about the guide, pathfinder, and the expectation of the guide and the pathfinder. This point you can study. And then 7.6 you can study that the skills required by the guide and the pathfinder. So this is fair enough. I hope everybody knows what is the role of a mountain climber, and you can write this answer very nicely. So two answers are prepared. One you can prepare on the city tour. For city tour, you can take up any place of your choice and make a table and an itinerary. For the mountain guide, you have to write about the role of the Sherpa as well as the skills required by the Sherpa. So this is done. Now, after that, let me move to the next topic. The next topic was related with wildlife tourism that I had shared with you. And wildlife tourism, you have such great national parks in your own country. So you can write about the role of the wildlife tourist. Just give me a minute. I will open that unit so that you are aware that for wildlife tourism, uh, we have understood that it is a very different kind of an activity. This type of a tourist is very educated. This type of a tourist is interested in traveling and understanding diversity. He's a very patient tourist. He's a helpful and a friendly tourist. But there are problems in wildlife tourism. For example, there are problems of time. There are problems of walking. One cannot walk for 10 to 15 miles every day. So that is a problem. There are issues in accommodation. Some wildlife parks allow us to stay at night. Some of us don't allow us. And then we have the problem of photography, because not every one of us can take those, big cameras with us inside the wildlife park. So these are some of the problems in wildlife tourism. Whenever we are going for wildlife tourism, it is good for us also, and it is good for the local people. And ecological awareness and nature walks are very, very important for wildlife tourists. So this is a very simple chapter. Please read this entire unit, which is visiting national parks. And you don't have to worry about this diagram because this is all related with India. You can study 9.2, profiling of the wildlife tourist. You can also study 9.3, problems in wildlife tourism. This, and then 9.4, harmonizing nature. So this is important for all of us to study as far as wildlife tourism is concerned. Then I discussed with you about museums, and I had already given you an idea that museums, please take up any local museum, write about that museum and the importance of that museum if you want to attempt a question. Now, only one topic is left, and that topic is related with Taj Mahal. Have you heard about this word Taj Mahal earlier?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
We have been hearing of it.
Okay,
I've
can
been
you?
here on that kind of building Taj Mahal. There is a piece of video that I have come through. where someone was discussing about the building that that building were purposely built for the purpose of just burying somebody's wife. The guy, or I can say the man, built that place to bury his wife after her death. So, and it is made mention that the building is one of the maybe tourist attraction in India, and it gets a lot of tourists for, I can say, visiting international tourists. I mean, and even the domestic tourists from India used to visit that places. And the last, our previous teacher, I mean, Dr. Moroy, she also made mention that the place is really interesting, and also even ministers used to visit that place.
Very good.
So
That's interesting. Good, good. Very. I'm happy. I'm surprised. Okay,
thank
that's
you, ma'am.
nice.
And then it
Yes.
says it's one of the seven wonders of the world.
Yes, it is one of the seven wonders of the world. Excellent. Thank you for your such a lovely feedback. I never anticipated that you will have so much of knowledge about Taj Mahal. Now, I will just give you some brief facts about Taj Mahal. So, it's a monument which is made up of white marble. So white marble is widely used. You can watch on a video also. It was built long time back near New Delhi. The travel distance from New Delhi to the Taj Mahal is approximately 3 hours, and it is located on a bank of a river. And in 1983, it was a World Heritage Site, and later it was named in 2007 as one of the seven wonders of this world. So it was built in 16th century. And in 16th century, we had the Islamic rulers who had established their empire in India. So the followers of Islam were there. So in the construction of Taj Mahal, the stone, the jewelry is all Arabic style. It is Arabic Persian style monument is there as far as Taj Mahal is there. It was built by the Emperor Shah Jahan in the memory of his queen, and it was finished. The whole complex was finished in 1653. So this is a complex. It is a beautiful complex. You can watch on YouTube about Taj Mahal. So that will give you more idea about it. It the style is of a mosque. It's a mosque. Prayer is always performed in Taj Mahal, and the Persian architect and people from Saudi Arabia all the way came to build because it has got these minarets. These minarets and are of Persian Arabic style. So we still perform prayers. There is a regular namaz that is offered inside the Taj Mahal. You look at the uh, white metal. The marble was mined from North India, and then we had from stone from Afghanistan and sapphire from Sri Lanka. So this is all Persian and Arabic carvings that are there on the Taj Mahal. And now precious stones are removed for security reasons, but earlier there were precious stones also. Then we have various gates, and it's a total 42 acres. In India, we use the word acres. And then the main gate is in the southern wall and the main building. So it's a huge complex. It takes 4 to 5 hours for us to visit Taj Mahal. In every mosque, you will find a water source. Whenever we go to pray in a mosque, we have some water related activity there. So similarly in Taj Mahal, we have a good garden, and that garden is very huge. It is influenced by Persian, Indian, and Islamic culture, and there is a geometric pattern and symmetry, and there is water pool that demonstrate beautifully the overall Taj Mahal ambience. So it's very beautiful place with lot of green trees, water bodies, flowers, as well as a white monument standing in between. It took a lot of time, 20 years to build this monument, 20,000 workers, 1,000 elephants working day and night. And at that point of time, it was 32 million rupees, and it comes to 750 million pounds in today's currency. So, lot of money, because when you are at that time, we never had rail or airways. So, everybody walked through foot, and they came all the way from Central Asia, from Persia, Afghanistan. So it took time. So that is why 20,000 workers, 20 years, 1,000 elephants working day and night to build this monument, which is Taj Mahal. It's a dome shaped structure. It is surrounded by smaller domes, and it is estimated that 7 million people visited Taj Mahal prior to the pandemic, and now this number is again increasing. After the pandemic is going to be over, then this number will again increase. Light, it see because it is related with the sunshine. In India, we have sun, a lot of sun related activities. So Taj Mahal, it gives a different set of aura every time. It changes its color depending upon the time of the day and the color of the light. In the early morning, it can appear to be a pink shade monument, which changes to brilliant white in the midday sun, and in the evening, it takes a warm golden color. So it is a special monument because it is linked with the cycle of the sun. That when the sun rises and when the sun sets, you will find that this white marble reflects a different set altogether. So this is all about Taj Mahal. Do you have any such structure in your country also? Any such mosque in your country? Okay, you visit mosque.
Yes.
Okay, please explain me the structure of a mosque.
So, so Taj Mahal is very luxurious place. Also, that's why
So what
we
is
used to
what
visit
is
mosque.
similar
As
between a
Muslims,
mosque? Hmm.
Taj Mahal is very similar to mosque. Very similar. From the
Hmm. So
nearest
you can
look
write the
in, you
answer
can
very
just judge
nicely
Taj Mahal.
also.
Of course, it's very similar to the mosque. I can even say I used to even say that the Taj Mahal is a mosque before I have came to know that it is just
It's a
something
mosque.
like
It's a mosque.
one of the seven wonders in the world. You see, so
Yes.
unlike
Yes.
the other
It's
wonders,
yes.
the six
Yes. It's a
wonders,
mosque. Yes. Yes. Seven wonders of the world. So Taj Mahal is a mosque. So
yeah,
when you're writing an answer for a mosque, for Taj Mahal, see if you get a question describing a monument, you can describe a mosque also.
okay,
If in the question paper they ask you Taj Mahal, then only you have to write about
okay,
Taj Mahal. If they ask you describing a monument, you can describe any monument of your choice.
okay,
Now,
ma'am.
as far as Taj Mahal is concerned, what you have to read in, it's like a mosque. Now you can read this 6.2.1. It is a grid pattern. Mosque is also a grid pattern. Mosque is also on a raised platform. In this we have garden. In mosque also we have garden, and then the cost, of course, you can leave. This also you can leave. Calligraphy, as I was telling you, that we have calligraphy from Amannat Khan, and there are other Amat. He was the best calligrapher at that point of time. We have rectangular gardens. We have massive land, and rest you can leave. It is not essential because these are all Urdu words. uh, but you can describe like a mosque. You can describe that there is a garden, there is a waterfall, or there's sweats of water there. It is made up of white sandstone, and it is one of the seven wonders of the world. And there are dome shaped pattern in Taj Mahal, and we have very good calligraphy also as far as Taj Mahal is concerned. So that is all about it. And you can read it from any source. It is not essential that you read it only from this book only. You can read it from any source. You can watch any video on Taj Mahal that will help you to remember. So, when is your exams anticipated? Any idea?
They said that the exams will hold in the month of
When are
June.
you,
Month of
okay.
June.
So you have few weeks to go, not many, March, April, May, 12 weeks only, isn't it? So Taj Mahal, any other
Uh,
observation you have, please let me know. Yes, please. Yes.
so, you
How
know,
confident you
we are always
are. Yes.
what makes me interesting in this. I can say even India at whole as whole makes me somehow interested. That's why I always wish to visit India, because India is a country that has a very historic ideas. So it is really interesting for someone who is studying this kind of course, I mean tourism, to be in India and other wonders, I mean, of the world. Because beside India, I mean the Taj Mahal building in India, we have other seven wonders. And I bet there are some of us that are studying this course that are not aware of this, or what we call the seven wonders. And the first wonder we have is the Colosseum, which is located in the Italy, Rome. That is a Colosseum building. And the Colosseum is the great oval in the center of Rome. So it is really interesting as well. Beside this, and also we have the Great Wall of China. It is one of the world's
Yes.
wonders. Of course,
Yes.
also
Yes.
we do have Taj Mahal, the third one, which is the Taj Mahal, which is located in India. I can say the southern part of
Okay.
India. And also we do have Christ the Redeemer in Brazil. It is also very interesting, like an iconic something like the looks like a human, because we just make it looks like a Christ in, I mean, the Redeemer who may come back to just rescue, who is coming back after death, so to redeem or to rescue the Christians in their own beliefs. And also we have Machu Picchu, which is in Peru. So we do have Chichen Itza, which is located in Mexico. It is also one of the wonders in the world.
Yes.
And the last one we have is Petra, which is located in Jordan. So these are the seven wonders we do have
Very
in the
good, Kabir.
world.
Very
And
nice.
I wish all of you people here, we should one day visit that places, because it is part of our course. We should at least give it a try and visit that places. Thank you for the time.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes, we wish to visit there.
Okay. Oh, it's great. I'm there to help you out. No issues. Okay. You are doing it from IGNO. So, Indira Gandhi National Open University is an Indian university. So, you will get your passport immediately stamped for India. Not an issue. Okay. Isn't it? So, anything about India you want to ask me, I can help you out.
Okay.
Anything
So
about
there was
India?
a time you asked about the month,
Yes. Yes, please. Yes.
the months that are good
There's some
for a
network
tourist to
issue.
visit Nigeria.
Anything about, yes.
So I made some research. So there are some months that are basically for different experiences. So what you want to explore, it depends on the month you want to visit. For example, if you visit Nigeria in the month of January, so January is the month of Hamatan season, or dry season, I mean, a good time for Nigerian holiday. So early morning hours and night remains chilly, while daytime is hot and dusty. So, and also you can experience a lot in Nigeria when visiting Nigeria in the month of January. You can also enjoy local cuisines such as jollof rice, jollof rice of Nigeria. And also,
You have to. We have
you,
a topic of.
you,
Okay. Okay.
okay,
Now,
you can
can I
also
give you some?
enjoy. Of course, ma'am.
Okay,
Of
can I
course,
give
ma'am.
you some home? Yes, yes. Okay, I will give you some homework, and that homework will be related with Nigeria only because you have to study a little bit about Nigeria. What is the
Yes,
third
yes, yes.
topic all about? The third unit is about. And then you have the study material with you. Do you
Yes,
have
I
the
do have
study
the story
material?
materials.
Okay, what
Yes.
is the next block all about? Have you okay, downloaded the study material?
No, I just go to the website and just make some research on it.
Okay, okay, you just go to the website only. Is
I
that
I
so?
downloaded the complete, yeah, downloaded the complete story material, but
Okay. So
for
I'm using this word. Wait, I'm just writing this word here
TSC
in
one.
the chat box. Please, just, Jeraho. This is the word which is known
TS one.
as, it is a place in India known as Khajuraho. Please watch a video of this place. You can write down in your notebook Khajuraho because we will be discussing about Khajuraho. We will also discuss about Mumbai. Next class, we will discuss about Khajuraho. Our discussion will be related with
Okay,
Mumbai.
ma'am.
We will also study about cuisines of India, food. So I want and cuisine and custom. So I want some feedback from you about Nigerian customs, Nigerian cuisine. So next class, the focus of our discussion will be basically on cuisines, customs, as well as, and the last part of, so this we are going to discuss in the next class. So please read little bit about Mumbai, about Indian food, if you can read Indian food, so that you can ask questions, and Indian marriage, Indian festival. So this, just read it on the internet. I'm not very uh, complex, just simple, simple. Read about this place Khajuraho. It has a dance festival. So Khajuraho dance festival. Watch
You know, ma'am, there was a time
YouTube
that
video.
I came along a piece about this Kajuraho, and they said that Kajuraho is an
Ah,
ancient city for its
yes, please.
magnificent temples. And is it Mandir?
Yes.
I don't know how to pronounce it. And in intricate
Mandir
sculptures,
is right.
the
Correct,
city is
correct.
located in the world. So I don't know. I just heard about this city in India, but I will look forward to see
Hmm.
if I can get a lot of ideas about
So
the
I will show
place.
you some videos also. I will show you in the upcoming
Okay.
classes few videos on Mumbai. I will show you a video also on Khajuraho. But please read it so that we can have a very good discussion. I can help you to
Yes, ma'am.
clarify
Yes,
your
ma'am.
doubts because if you're coming to India, you have to decide whether you want to come to Delhi or Mumbai. So if you will read about Mumbai, you will get an idea how Mumbai is. And when you are coming to India or you want to visit Plan India, then of course Indian food. Some knowledge about Indian food is also important for you. And then if I am coming to
Yes.
Nigeria, you will help me because I know only Indian food. I don't know Nigerian food. So we will talk about food, we will talk about festivals, isn't it? And we will share our
Yes, of
views.
course.
So
No
Monday we
problem.
will have the next class. Today the class is 2 days off is there. What are you planning to do on Saturday and Sunday? Studying or going out? What do you generally do on Saturday,
So,
Sunday?
yeah, for me personally,
Emo,
I, you know, I am a computer scientist basically because
Okay.
during my
Oh,
college days I studied mathematics and computer science.
it's nice, interesting. Computer science and tourism. What about Bashir? What are you doing?
Yes, today's week from network issue and technical problem. I haven't touched so many things in this class, but I have some few words to say. So about Taj Mahal, you talked about. So from my own observation and understanding that I had, any building, historical building or places, you know, such as temple, mosques, churches, can be called it's similar to Taj Mahal as we talked about, or Taj Mahal can be called a place of worship generally. Taj Mahal cannot be, cannot be called with one word. If I understood what you talked about Taj Mahal, that's what I need more light about. I think
Okay.
it's all about historical building
Yes, yes,
located
yes.
in.
Very good. Correct,
Yeah,
correct. You're correct.
okay,
Very
okay,
nice.
okay, okay.
Thank you.
That's that's what I feel in my mind. That's the observation I had on it.
Okay, okay. That's interesting. So we will talk about India more next class. I will share about Indian food, Indian festivals, Indian dances, and how we, live in India. And then we can see even our culture match. We have so much of followers of Islam in India. 30 crore people in India follow Islam. So we have so many mosques in India. We
All
have
right.
lot of historical Islamic forts in India. So we will talk all about this in the next class. And nice, Noora, you have also
No worries.
switched on your video. It's nice. I will talk to
No,
you later
no
because the
worries.
time is getting over. So we will have very
So we
good.
will enjoy to meet in the next class to hear about all of this.
Yes,
Much.
definitely, definitely. Pleasure, pleasure. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you very much,
Yeah, well,
everybody.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Enjoy your Saturday, Sunday. Enjoy your Saturday, Sunday.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.